Well, the fight between the centre and Mamata Banerjee government has now escalated. This after Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee appointed her ex-Chief Secretary Alapan Bandyopadhyay as her advisor. The Narendra Modi government has now decided to take action against Bandyopadhyay in spite of his retirement from the Chief Secretary's post. Sources say a charge sheet is going to be filed against him. In spite of this, the centre is upset with Alapan for refusing to comply with its order, recalling him to not block on central deputation. Not just that, sources have told us that an FIR is going to be registered against the former Bengal Chief Secretary if he fails to reply to the show cause notice within 3 days over his absence in the crucial Prime Minister-led meeting on Cyclone Yas.
राज्यपाल ने जो ट्वीट किया सरासर गलत है। मुख्यमंत्री ने प्रधानमंत्री का मीटिंग बॉयकॉट नहीं किया। उन्होंने खुद जाके प्रधानमंत्री से मिलके अपना राज्य का जो मांग है उनको हाथ में उठा दिया। गवर्नर जो बोले हैं कि मुख्यमंत्री घमंडी है, ये सरासर गलत है। मैं इसको प्रोटेस्ट करता हूँ। मुख्यमंत्री ये बताए हैं कि राज्य के स्वार्थ के लिए वो पैर पकड़ने का तैयार है प्रधानमंत्री को।
देश के सर्वोत्तम पद पर बैठे व्यक्ति को आप आधा घंटा इंतजार कराएंगे? क्या मैसेज देना चाह रहे हैं? और कहीं भी श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार ने स्टेप मदरली ट्रीटमेंट कभी भी नहीं किया और ना ही करेंगे, लेकिन अनुशासन का पालन सभी को करना पड़ेगा। कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल पदों पर बैठे व्यक्तियों का सम्मान आवश्यक है।
दो सरकारें इस प्रकार की आगे देश में जो अराजकता फैलाना चाहती हैं। विपक्ष की सरकार तो उड़ीसा में भी है, आंध्र में भी है, तेलंगाना में भी है, केरल में भी है, तमिलनाडु में भी है। तो सिर्फ दिल्ली और बंगाल की सरकार को दिक्कत होती है। कोई ये अराजकता की नीति पर चलते हैं। ये भूल गए हैं कि इन्होंने चीफ सेक्रेटरी को घर पे बुलाकर पीटा था।
Well, Mamata versus Modi face-off over Cyclone Yas has escalated once again. Bengal Chief Secretary Alapan Bandyopadhyay on Monday refused to join the central deputation in Delhi after being recalled by the centre. Later in the evening, Mamata Banerjee announced that the top bureaucrat was retiring and now is going to be serving as her advisor. Meanwhile, the centre is mulling action against the former Chief Secretary.
Days after Cyclone Yas pounded Bengal, politics over it has stormed centre-state relations. Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has crossed swords with the Narendra Modi government after her Chief Secretary was recalled to Delhi. Alapan Bandyopadhyay, the top bureaucrat of the state, in the end defied the central diktat. On a day he was supposed to report to Delhi's North Block, Bandyopadhyay opted to join Mamata at the Secretariat, Nabana, in Kolkata. Later in the evening, Mamata announced that the Chief Secretary had retired from service.
When I have received the letter, before that, Sri Bandyopadhyay has superannuated from afternoon of 31st May 2021 as his normal date of retirement is 31st May 2021. Hence, his services are no longer available to join the central government tomorrow as given in today's order.
The all-out political war erupted after Mamata skipped Prime Minister Modi's meeting in Bengal last week to review damage caused by Cyclone Yas. Mamata skipped the meeting as the centre had also invited the leader of the opposition and her arch-rival in the election gone by, Shubhendu Adhikari. The Modi government, in a sudden move, recalled Bandyopadhyay, whose extension of service was cleared by the centre earlier, assigning him to the Department of Personnel and Training. Angry over the centre's move, the Bengal Chief Minister shot off a 5-page letter to the Prime Minister describing the decision as political revenge for losing the assembly elections.
This is the blunder of the central government, great blunder. They want to bulldoze the state government totally. They want to play only the political vendetta. Who has taken this decision? This is illegal, unconstitutional.
आपने संविधान की शपथ लेकर के मुख्यमंत्री बने हैं तो आपको संवैधानिक मूल्यों, संवैधानिक संस्थाओं का सम्मान करना ही होगा। अगर आप नहीं करेंगे तो निश्चित तौर से संविधान अपना काम करेगा।
The battle between the BJP and the Trinamool has outlived the state election. With Mamata deciding to appoint Bandyopadhyay as her advisor, the stage is now set for a new confrontation. With Indrajit Kundu in Kolkata, Bureau Report, India Today.
West Bengal is facing an uphill task in the fight against COVID-19. Not only the vaccination drive is slow, but people have to wait endlessly just to get themselves tested. Out of its 9 crore population, it has vaccinated only 38 lakh people with both doses up until now. Here's more.
Bengal's battle with the virus isn't going as smooth as one would have hoped. It faces an uphill task to contain the spread of COVID and simultaneously vaccinate its people, the pace of which isn't exuding confidence either. Out of its 9 crore population, it has vaccinated only 38 lakh people with both doses. If that alone doesn't raise concerns, the state of testing isn't good either. At this government Sagor Datta hospital in North 24 Parganas, people have to wait endlessly just to get tested.
हम लोग आए हैं 9 बजे से खड़े हैं। डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ प्रोसीड्यूर्स है, वो टाइम लग रहा है अभी। ठीक है, तो आप 2 घंटे से यहाँ पे खड़े हैं और क्या क्या प्रोसीजर्स है? जैसे वो पहले तो टिकट करना पड़ रहा है आउटडोर के लिए, उसके बाद सैंपल के लिए एक किट हमको हाथ में दिया जा रहा है, उसमें सैंपल कलेक्टेड होगा, उसके लिए फिर से लाइन में खड़ा है।
All this while, the risk of getting infected too remains high.
পরিশানি বলতে অসুবিধা একটাই যে ওদের রেজিস্ট্রেশন হয়ে যাওয়ার সাথে সাথে যদি আমাদের টেস্টটা হয়ে যেত তাহলে এই ডিসটেন্স মেইনটেইনটা হতো। এখানে আমার এক জায়গা হয়ে যেতে হচ্ছে লাইনে দাঁড়িয়ে।
For most people here, getting tested at a private facility is a luxury they cannot afford. A few pick this center because it is the closest but are disappointed.
घर एक्चुअली यहीं पे है, इसलिए जो करीब में था वही मैंने चूज़ किया यहाँ आने के लिए। तो यहाँ मैं 1.5 घंटे से खड़े हूँ, तो जो भी है प्रोसेस सही हो रहा है, बस ऑफिशियल्स आने में थोड़े लेट हो गए थे बोल के ये लाइन इतना पाइल अप हुआ है।
This is just for testing that people have to stand in line. Many are not getting facilities anywhere else, and this is the closest that they can come to. They will have to take the pains just to get tested for COVID-19. With camera person Raktan Das, Prema Rajam and Kamahati for India Today.
Well, doctors versus yoga guru Ramdev face-off has escalated to a new level. Well, doctors' associations across India have come together to protest against Ramdev over his remarks on allopathy. Doctors are holding a black band protest. It's a symbolic protest, so work is on at hospitals against the yoga guru. Last week, Ramdev sparked a massive controversy after he called allopathy a failed science and then blamed it for deaths. He's also mocked the vaccination drive, claiming that doctors are dying in spite of getting 2 doses. The doctors hit back at Ramdev, calling his remarks discouraging and accused him of promoting vaccine hesitancy. Doctors have demanded that Ramdev be booked for sedition. The Uttarakhand chapter of the IMA has also slapped a 1,000 crore defamation notice against the yoga guru, demanding a written apology within 15 days.
पीएम मोदी जी एक तरफ कह रहे हैं कि वैक्सीन की तरफ जाएं और ये कह रहे हैं कि वैक्सीन मत लगाएं। इनको एपिडेमिक के तरफ इनको गिरफ्तार करना बहुत लाजमी है। अगर नहीं किया तो कितनी जानों का खतरा हो सकता है पूरे भारत में। और दूसरी तरफ ये कह रहे हैं कि हॉस्पिटल से सिर्फ डेड बॉडीज आ रही हैं और जितना इलाज हम कर रहे हैं वो बिल्कुल ठीक करके भेज रहे हैं। ऐसे करते हैं तो हॉस्पिटल में कोई पेशेंट नहीं आएगा। जल्दी से जल्दी इनको गिरफ्तार किया जाए, हमारा प्रोटेस्ट जारी रहेगा।
All doctors are hurt by his statements, which he is saying again and again against the modern medicine, against those COVID warriors who has lost their lives. 1,200 to 1,400 doctors in the country has lost their lives treating the patients since the first wave of the COVID pandemic. these should be acted, and under Epidemic Act we should be booked. But I don't know why the government is not taking action against them, and that is why we are gathered here, and we have tied the black badges to all our resident doctors. Today, the resident doctors of AIIMS New Delhi will work in the COVID and non-COVID duties with the black badges on their PPEs.
रामदेव जी किसको माफिया कह रहे हैं और किसको नहीं कह रहे हैं ये मैं कमेंट नहीं कर सकता हूं, पर ये सारी चीज़ें ना ही बोले तो अच्छा है. अपना जो ट्रेडिशनल जो आयुर्वेदिक फॉर्म ऑफ मेडिसिन है, इसको यदि वो रिसर्च और तरीके से प्रूव कर पाए तो ये बहुत अच्छा रहेगा, ये ह्यूमन बेनिफिट के लिए होगा. पर ऐसे स्टेटमेंट दे के और दूसरे सिस्टम्स ऑफ मेडिसिन को अब्यूज़ करके आई डोंट थिंक दैट इज़ द वे टू गो फॉरवर्ड.
Wearing black badges and holding these placards, the Resident Doctors Association at AIIMS is protesting against Baba Ramdev for his statements. Doctors across the country are protesting today and asking for criminal charges against Ramdev under the Epidemic Diseases Act as well as other sections of the IPC, including defamation of the entire medical profession. The doctors also say that Ramdev's statements could potentially encourage people to not take vaccines, which will have a very serious detrimental effect on the way the country is tackling the COVID epidemic. Today is being marked as a black day by doctors across the country who want the government to take action against self-proclaimed yoga guru Baba Ramdev. In New Delhi with cameraman Ajay, this is Anisha Mathur for India Today.
Well, India's Choksi hunt continues. India Today has learned from sources that the Enforcement Directorate is going to be tomorrow filing an affidavit before the Dominican court with details of Mehul Choksi's criminal activities. The probe agency will be explaining to the court how Choksi is an Indian citizen and on what grounds he should be deported to India. Meanwhile, India Today has accessed 2 documents of a yacht that ferried Choksi in a hush-hush manner to Dominica, possibly after being lured and honey-trapped by a mystery girl. The document Romantic Eye Immigration Department says the yacht left on the 23rd of May for Dominica. A journey of 190 kilometers was undertaken. This journey couldn't have normally taken 3 days, but the document from Dominica Immigration shows that this yacht arrived on the 25th of May. The Dominican opposition now is also saying that the 3-day gap in Choksi's itinerary confirms that he was abducted as part of an elaborate operation by India, Antigua and Dominica.
Removal of Choksi from Antigua and bringing him to Dominica. Immediately after, we hear talk about him being sent directly back to India, suggests that there is a plan afoot to subvert the legal process that has been engaged in this jurisdiction. And in other words, an undermining of the judiciary in this jurisdiction. But the Dominican authorities also need to consider, how is it that we got ourselves into this situation where the country appears to be going along with a plan to subvert the judicial process in the region and have Mehul Choksi out of Antigua, where the Prime Minister says he enjoys constitutional protection and privileges.
It's time for a quick break here. News for the hearing impaired on the other side.